know about you guys, but I'm trying to figure out how the hell did this game only have one goal? Because I feel like both teams could have scored multiple times. And if you want to look at it from an in-depth POV, it seemed like this was a game of two halves. I think PSG were the better team in the first half, and then you saw Arsenal be on it the entire second half. So the fact that they weren't able to equalize, to me, despite all the pressure that they were applying on PSG, is crazy. But this was a very entertaining game. I mean, Arsenal, 0. PSG 1. I need you guys to get in that comment section and let me know what you're saying for this match. And also, let me know who your man of the match was as well. But subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Welcome to Carnage Extra. But let's talk about it. You saw PSG went out there. They got an early goal. Ousmane Dembélé in like the first 5 minutes. Kvaratskhelia was cooking that first half. He had Jurrien Timber on skates. You would have thought that Jurrien Timber was a dare on ice. This guy looked so shaky out there. PSG in transition, they moved the ball so damn fast. Dembele for that first goal did a very good job of carrying the ball. He finds Kvaratskhelia on the left. And then when Kvaratskhelia gives Dembele back the ball, this guy had an acre of space. I didn't see an Arsenal midfielder, an Arsenal defender next to Dembele. This guy could have tied his shoes. This guy could have read a book. This guy could have built a house with as much land as he had that was free. It was crazy. Dembele's strike was very good. Hits off the post, 1-0. And I'm thinking, damn, Arsenal are about to get cooked. The opening 35 minutes of this game, it looked like a PSG training session. The opening 35 minutes of this match went exactly how I expected it to. In my UCL predictions, when I talked about this game, I said PSG are the most technical team in the world. You're not going to be able to outplay them in terms of on the ball. I said the only chance that Arsenal were going to have that scoring this game was from transition on a counter or a set piece. And that's what it looked like it was going to be by those opening 35 minutes. PSG were winning the ball back. PSG were dominating possession. PSG looked more dangerous. PSG looked like they were going to get a second goal. Desiree Doué, by the way, I rate him as a baller. He's a very good player. But he was super mid today. But in that first half, Doué had a good shot. And Raya had an even better save. But something just changed after that 35th minute. It's like Arsenal woke up. It's like Arsenal remembered that they were the team that was at home. Like, from sitting back and soaking up pressure, we saw towards the end of that first half, Arsenal were causing PSG a lot of issues, right? Arsenal, to end that first half, had 2 very good chances, right? Donnarumma made a big save. And then you also had Bukayo Saka that played that cross into the box for Martinelli that he just barely missed. But I was very impressed with how Arsenal responded, because from the 35th minute to the 95th minute, Arsenal were the better team. And the fact that they did not score today, I feel like that's crazy, because PSG, they did a very good job of defending. But Arsenal were applying so much pressure, and we know that that PSG backline is a little bit shaky. And I thought that the equalizer was coming, but it didn't. And now I think PSG have a massive advantage, because not only were they able to get the win in this first leg, but now the second leg is going to be in France. And we know that atmosphere at PSG's ground is crazy. So if Arsenal couldn't score today, I feel like PSG might give them a little 2-piece combo in that second leg. But it's definitely not over, right? This tie is wide open. I could definitely see Arsenal going there and getting something, but it's going to be a massive hurdle. PSG are arguably the best team in the world right now. But I feel like they just got complacent, right? I feel like they allowed Arsenal to be on the ball more. They allowed Arsenal to look dangerous. They allowed Arsenal to apply a lot of pressure to them. And I wonder why PSG didn't get back on the ball, right? Now, to talk about some individual players, I think Desiree Doué, we rate this guy very highly. But I think this game, he was in Miles Lewis Skelly's pocket. Lewis Skelly is a baller. The way that this guy has broken to this Arsenal team, has established himself as an England international, and the way that he is playing in these big games, cooking against Real Madrid, cooking today against PSG. I'm not saying that Lewis Skelly is world class, but he's entering these conversations very quickly. I think for PSG, right? Couple of players that were decent. Think Kvaratskhelia, very good, especially in that first half. What a baller. The way that they were able to sign this guy for 50 M's in the January transfer window. What a steal. The thing about PSG, right? It's so crazy. These guys lost Mbappe for free, and they got better. There's no main focal point in their attack. PSG have so many ways that they can hurt you, right? That front three, that midfield is so fluid. They're so good on the ball that you don't really know who to necessarily game plan against. Because if you try and stop just one person, then they'll hurt you with somebody else. Kvaratskhelia, as I said earlier, was cooking timber. Got the assist. I think Dembele, he got injured, and we got to keep an eye on that, because if he's not available for that second leg, that could be a huge advantage for Arsenal. But Dembele was solid. I think that PSG's best midfielder was João Neves, right? Some of the tackles that he was putting in was very good. I think Marquinhos today had a solid performance as well. Nuno Mendes, I think he did a good job against Bukayo Saka. And then Donnarumma, a lot of people are disrespecting this goalkeeper. He is a very good player. I think Donnarumma had a good performance today. He made a couple of big saves. We got to start putting a bit more respect on Donnarumma's name. As far as Arsenal are concerned, Martin Ødegaard, mid. Somebody tell me, what does Ødegaard do? I feel like Arteta needs to start taking some risk, right? I know that Ødegaard's Arsenal's captain, but he sucks. Like, this guy does nothing. Merino and Declan Rice carried him again today. Like, what does he do? He doesn't offer you anything in the final third, right? He doesn't shoot. He's not creative. He doesn't really help defensively. This guy did a 90 he was subbed off in the 90th minute. This guy just did cardio today. Nothing but just pure vibes. Because he wasn't out there playing football. I didn't even notice Martin Ødegaard until he was over the ball on one of the set pieces. I think Arteta, if he would have subbed on Waneri in like the 65th or 70th minute, I believe that with the momentum that Arsenal had, they would have equalized. Waneri is way better than Ødegaard. I'm sorry. If I was Arsenal, I think you can get 60 to 70 million for Ødegaard in the summer. I would cash in on him. This guy is mediocre. I don't even know how he's managed to become Arsenal's captain. I think Arsenal's front three were mid, aside from Saka. Saka was decent today. Definitely not as dangerous as he was against Real Madrid, but I think that's to do with Nuno Mendes, right? Nuno Mendes is arguably the best left back in the world right now. The guy pocketed Mo Salah. The guy had a good 2 legs against Aston Villa. And it looks like PSG are playing Premier League killers in this UCL tournament. They're collecting these UCL teams like Infinity Stones. Nuno Mendes had a good game, like I said. I think Saka was decent. Not as dangerous. I think Martinelli, mid. This guy is not Bolivian. Sorry, Brazilian. This guy is Bolivian. I think Trossard today, not good enough. And I don't expect Trossard to start in that second leg. I think that with Thomas Partey coming back, Merino will go into the 9 in that second match. I think Timber, mid. Defensively, Kiwior, Saliba were solid. I think Rice and Merino had a good game. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly, though, was Arsenal's best player. Baller. This kid is special. But, look, good game, though, right? David Raya also made some big saves as well, like I talked about with the Doué shot. And I think the second leg is going to be crazy because Arsenal are going to have to go for it. And we're going to see PSG, they're going to have to score some goals as well because 1-0. And remember, there's no away goal advantage anymore. So it's not a comfortable lead for them, right? I think this could be a match that goes into the penalties. And, I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see. Very good game, though, today. I know that it only ended 1-0. A lot of people might not be happy with that. I'm seeing some people during the watch-along talk about how the game is dead. Bro, it's not all about goals. Like, I've watched low-scoring games like this one that have been entertaining, right? I've even watched 0-0s that were entertaining. This was a good matchup. But I think if Arteta would have made that Waneri sub earlier, I think Arsenal could have definitely left this game with the draw. But look, man, PSG are on some good form. And I did predict PSG to go through to the final. So, I mean, look, let's see what Arsenal got for us in the away leg. But it's going to be very hard for them to go there and do anything, right? I don't think that PSG are going to look that mid for a majority of the game again. I'm telling you guys, if you looked at the numbers, right? In the opening 35 minutes, PSG had about 75% of that ball. Arsenal were out there chasing shadows. These guys couldn't get near the ball. Then all of a sudden, Arsenal just started getting on the ball more. They started looking dangerous in the final third. They were creating chances, but they weren't able to break through. So, I mean, look, we'll see what happens in that second leg, but I want to know what you guys are saying for this match. Get in the comment section, right? Subscribe to the channel. First video on Carnage Extra, and we're going to have a lot of good things coming, right? Also, get in that Discord. The link is pinned down below. I don't know who I would say is my man of the match. That's why I need you guys to let me know who you think it should be. Because even though PSG won, I think Arsenal were the better team for a majority of this game. So, yeah, get in that comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying. Smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe.